here to talk about mood and sleep and all the essential oils that help with this. I'm Annabelle Ola, and
hi, I'm Erin Coleman.
So right there by my side.
We're actually together tonight, which we haven't been in a while, so it's fun. But yes, we're talking about mood and sleep tonight, and I have been using essential oils for 7 years. Annabelle introduced me to them. So I use them on myself and my 4 kids, my husband. It's a whole family affair now. But we love sharing about the oils, and tonight we're going to talk about mood and sleep, but we're also going to talk about the 3 cool things about doTERRA essential oils, why we think they're pretty special.
So just going over a little snapshot and a little story, which I'll actually have Erin do her story because I really like that one. However, Dave really uses the Serenity quite a bit, my husband, with his anxiety, and he kind of feels like he can't do without it. So the soft gels are really great. The Copaiba is another option, and those things are going to come up in this slideshow. And we're going to share 3 cool things about essential oils. And you guys, since it's a small group tonight, you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions, and we can also chat during this time. So you want to start with the 3 cool things?
Sure. Okay, so the 3 cool things we're going to cover are that doTERRA oils are natural and safe, they're more effective than modern approaches, and they're cheaper than traditional medical care. So doTERRA, well, all essential oils are supposed to just be the plant matter, and the oils come from compounds within the plant that we can't see. They're within the roots, flowers, seeds, and bark, and other parts of the plant. One of the things we like to point out with doTERRA oils is that they are very pure and potent. So they are different than other essential oils on the market out there. Essential oils are not FDA regulated. So right now, anyone can put something on a shelf, like at Michael's, Tuesday Morning, Target. They can call it an organic essential oil, and it is not tested, so we don't know what's in it. And typically they have a lot of additives and fillers, and that's why when you look on the side of the box of the oils, it'll say caution flammable, do not ingest, do not put on skin, but that is not what an essential oil is supposed to be. So doTERRA created a CPTG standard, certified therapeutic grade, for its oils, and that means the oils are tested many different ways to make sure that there's nothing added to or taken away from the oil, and that the compounds in the oil look exactly the way they're supposed to. So doTERRA oils are very pure. Not only that, they're incredibly potent because the plants are sourced in the part of the world where that plant will grow best. So I always like to give the lemon oil as an example. Our lemon oil is sourced in Italy, Corsica, Italy, because that's where lemons grow the best, and they are picked and harvested at their peak energy point so that we know that we are getting the best energy from the plant, which turns into the best oil for your health. We want all of that good, healthy, pure, good energy in our oils. And it's usually this part of the class, if we're lucky enough to be doing a live class, where we pass around the peppermint and we let everyone take a smell. And what I like to do is put a drop of the peppermint just in the palm of my hand and then put it on the roof of my mouth. So if you have peppermint at home, that's good to try. You can always just rub it together too. And you can immediately feel yourself waking up. You know, it's clearing your sinus passageways. It can help with headache. It can help with indigestion, nausea, so many different things. And that 1 drop of peppermint oil is the same as having 28 cups of peppermint tea. So it's really, really potent. It's actually the oils are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So 1 drop goes a long, long way. So that's the first cool thing. They're 100% safe and natural. And here you just have more information about the testing. So we have several different testing phases to determine that the oil is exactly what it should be. No fungi, no viruses, no mold, no heavy metals, proper chemical patterns, everything that you want to see, and the oil is there. And on every bottle of doTERRA oil, there's a number, and you can look that number up online, and it will tell you exactly the testing for that oil. So that's really good information to have. You know your oil is safe. You can trust it. You know it's safe to ingest, put on your skin, put in the air in your home. So that's the first really cool thing about essential oils. They're natural and safe. And then the second is that they're more effective than many modern approaches to medicine. So I am not by any means a doctor, but the really basic science behind the oils and why they're so effective in treating viruses is, if you just look at my fist and imagine this is a cell, and then this is an oily cell membrane on the outside. Right, the bacteria will sit outside the oily cell membrane, and viruses will go inside the cell and duplicate DNA. So when we go to the doctor with a bacterial infection, the doctor will give us a medicine, an antibiotic. That's a synthetic medicine. And it will treat the bacteria on the outside. So that will hopefully clear up our bacterial infection. We may have side effects, but we go to the doctor with a virus and the doctor will say, sorry, this is a virus. It has to run its course, drink some water, rest, and that's it. And the reason for that is that our modern medicine cannot cross through that oily cell membrane. So water and oil don't mix. Our synthetic medicines are water-based. They cannot permeate the oily cell membrane, but the oils, they can. So the oils can clear up the bacteria on the outside, and then they can go inside and stop the virus inside the cell. So that, I think, is really cool about essential oils. They can help us keep viruses out of our body, or shorten the length of the virus once it's in our system. And there's so much information out there. There's a resource at the bottom, aromaticscience.com, that you can take a look at and just check out more science facts. So that was the second cool thing. And then the third cool thing is that they are cheaper than traditional medical care. So for my family, we have a high deductible plan, and when we go to the doctor, it's $100 for a sick visit, which is incredibly expensive. And I know there's a whole range of copays out there. But if we have something like an ear infection, we just put a couple drops behind the ear of tea tree oil, lavender. You can add in basil, and that's less than $1. So treating that way has been very effective for my family, and it saved us hundreds and hundreds of dollars just knowing that we can look to the tools at our house and use those instead of having to rush to the doctor, because no one wants to go to the doctor right now.
Especially not on the London tube.
Yes, yeah.
Classic picture. Love it. That was beautiful.
I know, that is a good
Love it.
Look out, they're definitely not social distance there.
Oh, definitely not. That's a funny pic to suddenly appear.
I like the Phillips 66 gas too. All right, so that's the third cool thing about doTERRA oils, and really that's why we love them. We know that they're safe, they work, and they're cheaper than having to rush out to the doctor all the time. It's not only for sick visits, but it's preventative health care. So we think that is what really makes them important to us. And then Annabelle is going to cover the 3 easy ways to use.
So most of you ladies know the 3 ways to use essential oils. So the first is aromatic use. So if you have a diffuser, you might be using it that way. Some of us, just like Erin did before, will put a few drops in the hand and tent and not get it near the eyes and be able to inhale. And actually, it's a really great thing to do at nighttime, or when you're stressed. Before bed, breathe in for 5 seconds, hold the breath for 5 seconds, and then release. So it's going to help your immune system. It's going to help your nervous system. It's going to calm you down and get you in a great state for sleep, and also just de-stressing. Another thing I love to do is you can make a spritzer for clothing for a scent. So for breeze, yeah, it's like definitely toxic. We don't want to be doing that. So you can make something like a lavender spray. And we have plenty of recipes for these items, but essentially for this one, I've just done water, purified water with lavender, and it's super easy and inexpensive. And a lot of those spritzes are kind of expensive out there, so that's nice to know. You can do the drops of the oil in the shower. So I have eucalyptus in my shower at all times, or you could do something like breathe or whatever kind of was calling to you, just to let it rise up and open up the airways, and you kind of feel like you're in a spa for a few moments and then you realize you're at your home, but it's still helpful at the time. Another new thing that is on here, and I'm going a little out of order, but the cotton ball, you take a cotton ball, put an essential oil on like orange or lemon or something along the lines of whatever you were feeling the mood for, and put it in your vent, because it's going to help in your home or in your vehicle to just kind of surge through. That's a really nice one to do. Another one is putting it on a tissue or a dryer ball, which we've done wintergreen with, we've done lavender with, we've done all kinds of things. I'm just making sure my laptop is plugged in because it looks like the battery just said it was low. There we go. Okay, so, sorry, one second.
Any way to do it?
Take that, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So we're just kind of plugging the laptop. So aromatically, I think Annabelle said all of the ways covered here, but definitely the easiest way is to diffuse the oils in the house. I call it the lazy way of getting oils into everyone's bodies in your home. Right now at my house, I have Serenity diffusing just to help my kids get to bed. So I just put it on for everyone. Good for them, good for the puppy. So it's a great way to use the oils aromatically.
You have to use purified water in the diffuser, or can you just use regular water, or how do you do that?
That's a good question. So I use whatever water is easiest for me to get. Usually I use the filtered water from my fridge. But if I don't have that, if I'm not at home and I don't have bottled water or anything, I will use the tap water. Most recommendations say to use filtered water, but I do think when the oils are in there, the water is getting clean as well. So,
but if you have well water, I would avoid well water, just because there's so many things inside of it. What kind of water do you have, Leslie?
Well water.
Yeah, me too. So it actually can make my toilets brown sometimes. So
yeah,
fortunately, I use purified or filtered because of that.
okay.
Yeah. So go through the second way?
oh no, not yet.
Okay, so the second way is topically, which can go on neat for some of our oils. So like lavender, you can put on neat, which means directly on the skin. Or if it's one of the roller balls, usually it has coconut oil in it, and you can put it on neat as well because it's already diluted for you. Some of them are hot oils like oregano or cinnamon, and you wouldn't want to put them directly on the skin because it could be a burning oil, but you could use the bottom of the feet and you could dilute. So that's just some of the choices that you can use. And for children and babies, for sure, you're using less oil and you're diluting. So the third way is internally. So every morning, personally, I put lemon or a citrus oil, it doesn't matter, grapefruit, lime, whichever you're kind of feeling that day, a few drops in your water, and you want to make sure it's lukewarm, not too cold, not too hot, because the stomach has an easier time digesting that way. It's going to clean out and purify, and it's also going to lift your mood. So after sleeping, especially if you had a glass of wine the night before and you're dehydrated, waking up to a big glass of water like that is perfect. And even doctors will say to do that. And in a bottle of the 15 ml of the citruses, there's about 500 rinds cold pressed in each bottle. So that just tells you how incredibly potent it is and how healing it is. And like Erin was saying earlier, comes from Corsica, so the lemons do, and all the other ones come from different places as well that are their prime place for cellular plant life. You can also put them in a veggie cap. A lot of people do this. I tend to buy the actual oil, like for example, where it says number 5 On Guard protective gels, I just end up buying the oil that's already done for me. Maybe that's a little bit of a shortcut, but you can totally get the veggie cap and do it internally that way. You can also put a drop of oil directly into the tongue. So every day I do the frankincense oil because it's one of the ones that oxygenates the blood. And you can put it under there because it will deliver to the body the fastest. And when it oxygenates the blood, that's anti-disease. So this is a really good safeguard to have. It's frankincense. And then you can also use it in recipes. So Tara is a cook that is on our team, and she has all kinds of recipes that you can use basil or oregano in your pastas, all kinds of things for cooking. I personally, for smoothies, I'm always doing different oils like peppermint or cinnamon or Slim and Sassy in my smoothies in the morning. So I love doing it that way. So the third way is internal use. So we're going to go over the 3 great things for mood and sleep, especially right now because we're in this time of the unknown and ups and downs. It's nice to have some mood stabilizers, and it's nice to have some things that will help us sleep when we're stressed out. So the essential oils support the body in promoting feelings of calmness and relaxation, even lifting the mood. They also bring peace of mind with environmental threats and helps our bodies to relax, rest, and sleep. So the first cool thing is the essential oils support the mind and body to promote relaxation. So lavender is the first kind of go-to that people think of, but also serenity, because serenity was compared to Xanax in a study and won out. And of course, Xanax has all kinds of side effects. So it's just going to really bring you down. And this is the one I was talking about that Dave uses the capsules for anxiety, and he really needs it for his sleep too. Lemon is another option. Sometimes we don't think of citrus as calming, but some of the oils like orange oil and lemon really do calm the nervous system and have ingredients in there chemically to help you do that, which is nice. I forgot the name of the chemical that is in the orange oil. Limonene?
In the lavender is the linalool. And I think lemon has some in it too, but lavender has a lot of linalols, and linalols are terpenes, which have been used for hundreds and hundreds of years to calm people down. So that's why lavender is a calming oil. Many of the oils have the linalols in them. Lavender has quite a large amount of that terpene in it. So it is very calming to the nervous system and to the skin. So it does both things. It's calming your skin, it's calming your body.
Exactly. Perfect. So adaptive is the newer one. If you haven't seen adaptive, it's for highs and lows, ups and downs. I know Erin uses this a lot in her home. Yeah, so you can diffuse this one. You can put it on the back of the neck. There's also a pill form of this, and you can use the combination of that. And they've actually been studying not just mental illness, but moods in general, and using adaptive as their go-to. So this is a really effective way to go. And if you decide that you want to do one of the free studies one month and want to try them for free, we can mail you the items that you could try, and you could test it out, because each oil reacts so differently with each person. And so it's a nice way to kind of shop or take a second to try something for free and see how it works for you. So the second,
sorry, I think it's worth noting here that one of the lovely ladies that we share our oils with, Rebecca, she's actually a psychologist, right? And so she's actually worked with doTERRA on these oils, I mean, at a very high up level. And that is someone who we've learned a lot from. And it's not just, you know, arbitrary, it's good for the mood, but she's actually worked on this. She's an actual psychologist. She has a lot of not only anecdotal evidence, but evidence from her clinic that she used to run.
Thank you, Nikki, because that's true. There's a lot of studies, and she's been in those studies and helped to make them be available to us. So thank you for saying that. They're on the Well Oiled site, but I'm happy to send them out as well. So the second great thing about essential oils is some of these are great for a seasonal threat. So when your immune system is compromised, or when you're stressed out, your immune system is compromised, and then you're kind of in trouble. So the peace of mind knowing that you're safeguarded, and again, during this time of the unknown, and we won't be able to go to the doctor as much, especially come winter, we want to make sure we're well equipped. So On Guard, on the back of the neck, unless you have sensitive skin, the bottom of the feet diluted. You can also diffuse every day for the family. So that's one of our, as all of us do for our whole family, to protect and to make sure that we are safeguarded. Tea tree oil is another one. And actually, Erin, you use this a lot, so I'll let you speak to tea tree oil.
Okay, yes, tea tree oil is one of my favorites. It's so good for so many different things. It prevents lice, it helps with skin infections, but in our house, it's especially been powerful in fighting ear infections. So I have a now 10-year-old who is allergic to most antibiotics. And so unfortunately, when he had chronic ear infections, we didn't have a lot of options. So we started using tea tree oil behind the ears, and it really cleared it up to the point where he stopped getting ear infections. And if he did, just a little bit of tea tree oil would clear it up. And he hasn't been on an antibiotic in 6 years. So it's been a while, which is great. And so just having these things on hand is empowering us at home so that we can have that peace of mind. I do like to know that if the littlest thing happens, I don't have to rush to the doctor. I can have that calm feeling that I can try to control it at home.
Yep, that's awesome. I love her stories on that. And we've used them for ear infections too for Maggie. So it's been great. And then just a little sidebar, we've also been able to help with pink eye, UTIs. I mean, you name it. It's really, I've been kind of a guinea pig, and so has Maggie for some of this, but we would go back to the doctor after being, they said that you had this ear infection, and then here's your antibiotic, and then we go back to make sure it's gone. We're being very careful about not just leaving it and not listening to the doctor, because it's not about anti-doctor, it's about, but what if there's another way that's not going to hurt the body and wreak havoc on the immune system? So the oregano oil acts as an antibiotic in the body, and actually chicken farms or chickens are being given oregano now on chicken farms because no one wants antibiotics in their food anymore. So there is also really good research on oregano and it being great for viruses. So right now in particular, we are all doing the oregano on the bottom of the feet to prevent viruses. And the other one is copaiba, which is good for the immune system, but it's also good for calming and relaxation. So there's a lot of research that I could do a whole class on copaiba. You can take it under the tongue is really the best way. And there are soft gels too. But yeah, we're big fans of the copaiba. One of our, actually a few of our members have put it on the jawline if they're a grinder at night, and it stops them and they don't end up having to wear their night guard anymore, which is kind of huge.
I'll plug for that. I had to wear a night guard after having massive jaw surgery. I had to wear one for 15 years and then started taking the soft gel nightly and don't have to wear it anymore, which is pretty amazing. It's nice to not have to have something like that in your mouth all night after 15 years, for sure.
Yes, definitely. That's huge. The third cool thing is it helps us with rest and sleep. And if we don't have proper rest and sleep, we really can't let the body heal and do its job of recharging, which is a very big deal on everything from the nervous system to hormones. So Serenity, like I had spoken about before, is really a great go-to. Copaiba and Adaptive. So they're all good, and this is where it comes into which one works best for you. So finding the right one that works for you. These are just the top oils as far as rest and sleep go. Do you have anything else to say about those oils?
I think we're all different in the ways that we have trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, waking too early. So these blends are different, and they they have different compounds that are going to affect different body systems, but overall they're designed to help slow down your nervous system, calm you, and bring you rest and relaxation. And part of the reason we're doing the studies is because everyone's body chemistry is different. For instance, I take the Adaptive every morning. It works for me to get me through the day. I call it my oil of overwhelm. I need it when I wake up in the morning. The Serenity and the Copaiba, I have to combine together and take them both in soft gel form at night, because I am a hard to unwind, too many thoughts in my head at night, trying to go to bed. That's the kind of person I am. So I need those two combined to help me relax. So I'm not clenching my teeth, and help me just go to sleep without worrying about everything. So
yep, and that just goes to show too with what Erin was saying, like my favorite at bedtime is a really, really random one. It's Holiday Peace, and I put it at the bottom of my feet, and I don't know what the combination of these tree oils does for me exactly, but whatever it is, well, there is vetiver in there, first of all, which is huge, frankincense, Himalayan fir, Douglas fir, grapefruit, and Siberian fir, which is a big healing oil. So I find that personally, this is my sleep oil. And I think past, Debbie, past tense is yours, right? She can hear me. Debbie can't live without past tense, and usually she gives that one a plug. Do you have a favorite one, Nikki?
I think he uses
Yeah,
vetiver.
I'm ready to say, yeah, mine's vetiver right now. Serenity didn't really do it for me. So I started using vetiver, and I heard about this from someone else like about 5 years ago, and I thought it was all very woo-woo. So I put it on my big toes where the biggest pores are, and apparently the big toes are really close to something in your brain. So reflexologists know about this. And I wasn't sleeping well at the beginning of COVID, and then so for 2 weeks I didn't really do anything, and then I said, oh God, I'm going to give it a go, because vetiver is a little bit more expensive, and I thought, okay, let's do it. I tell you what, I don't, placebo, coincidence, whatever, I cannot sleep without it. And so my 17-year-old, who is very, roll your eyes, she actually loves Breathe. And we've run out, so please, can we have, if anyone's getting more Breathe, I ran to Erin the other day because she's complaining she can't sleep without Breathe because she gets stuffy at night, and that stops her from sleeping. She's very mildly asthmatic, okay, so exercise is, and
so that's her peace of mind.
That's her peace of mind. She really says, she says, if I don't have the Breathe, I'm stuffy. I couldn't sleep last night. I was stuffy. I need some Breathe, Mum. Why can't you order it? Yeah.
Take some time.
Right.
Have you got a stash, please?
I don't know if
I had like a teeny bit left in my
I
bottle.
know, I already used yours.
And I was like, why don't I have more?
I'll give you some. I've got some. I'm right around the corner. I don't know if you've tried any of these, Leslie. Have you tried any of these?
So I tried, well, definitely the lemon. I think my issue is more of just consistency. Like, I definitely want to make it more of a routine, which I haven't done yet. I think I get overwhelmed because there's so many. And then I just like get paralyzed by, Annabelle talked about it so many times with you. So this is really helpful because I feel like I definitely like the On Guard, the Copaiba, the Adaptive, the Serenity, the Lemon, the Vetiver. I want to look into all of those. And
yeah, and you might want to do the study next month. So I could send you the free samples. It'd be easy. We could even meet up and have an excuse to meet up. And then I'll give you the stuff so you can be included in the free study, and then you can try them yourself too.
Yeah, and then that would give me some accountability to actually do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be on you.
Yeah. That is key. The consistency is key. It's hard. It's hard to be consistent.
But it's fun. The studies have been super fun, and during this time, it's kind of like a little community side thing to be doing, and self-care while we all can. So that's huge.
But it sounds like it definitely, it's helpful to, because I was wondering about, you see essential oils everywhere, and Whole Foods, and Michael's, Target, just like
cheaper.
Yes, and I wondered. I had a feeling it was just like olive oil with something, in it, and I didn't trust it, and I was wondering. So that was helpful to understand why doTERRA's oils are so much better.
Yeah, Erin did a great job of describing it at the beginning, but truly they can put whatever they want in there, and that's really scary.
Yes.
And so, like she said, the FDA is not regulated oils yet. However, doTERRA is the only company they work with within the cancer institutes and research hospitals. So they're working with them to hopefully be the first ones that are approved, and they follow along all their rules of what they want them to do. So I think that if anything, they'll be the ones that do. And a lot of these other oil companies that do have somewhat of a reputation, they're not going to the country of the origin of the plant. So not only are you not getting the best cellular and energetic level to heal you on much higher level in the potency and the purity, like Copaiba, they go out to the Amazon, they fly, then they boat, and then they have like somewhere in between 5 and 10 trees now, and they tap it out there and get it right there, higher than organic grade if possible. No one's even living there from the tree. And then they are fixing up the community. They're paying the farmer directly, so there's no middleman. They're helping the schools. They're helping the medical communities. They are, I mean, the outreach that they do to not just take from the land and leave. They're rebuilding the plants, regrowing everything. So there are so many great stories about what they do that makes you feel like it's full circle, because I'm helping the planet, I'm helping that community, and I'm helping my family to get the absolute best thing. And that's why it's a little bit more expensive. So it's well worth it in that regard. So you guys know the 3 ways because you guys are members, so we're not going to go through this part. So I thought, because we are a small group, it would be good for any kind of Q&A or any kind of sharing to go ahead and do that. Does anyone have a story or a question?
I'm in the experimenting phase too, Leslie, and I think, you know, one of the big things I've been saying to anyone that I share with is little and often. And if you do have seasonal allergies and you decide to go with lavender, lemon, and peppermint, or you go with a blend called Breathe, then you take the time to put it on your wrists, take a few breaths. You know, it's not like done. It's like 40 seconds. I did this with a friend of mine, and we sat down together, and we you know, when you count out 40 seconds, it's actually quite a long time if you actually stop for 40 seconds and just breathe for 40 seconds. And only then did she really feel it go in. Through. Her daughter came in and was like, yeah, it doesn't do anything for me. Well, you know, well, no, you have to, you know, take a moment and keep applying. People have asked me, you know, how many drops? Well, start with 2 or 3 in your diffuser. And then if it's not overpowering to you and you enjoy it, maybe next time you might want to try something else, or maybe add a couple of drops of something else, all the way up to say 9 or 10 drops. So it's all trial and error and how you feel and how it reacts with you. But little and often, and a little bit first, and then you build.
Right.
That's a really good point, because I think that's another place where I hung up is like it even comes with cooking. If I don't have a recipe, I don't want to cook it because I want to know exactly how much I'm supposed to add, you know? So I guess it sounds like there's not a specific, you know, you should put 1.5 teaspoons or drops or whatever. You just kind of do it to whatever your tolerance is.
I mean, for example, if I dip peppermint in warm water, not hot, I only need 1 drop because 2 is overpowering. Because it is equivalent to the 28 cups of tea. So I'm very careful with that. But in my diffuser, it's up to me because I'm not ingesting it and it's not near my mucous membranes and my eyes. You know, so.
I would say a good rule of thumb is to start with 1 if you're doing internal, and then you can add from there. Because they are so potent and they can be treated like medicine. But in the diffuser, some people prefer 5 drops. I prefer like 10 to 15. So a little bit of a window there. I really want to split it, and I want it to go all over my house. And especially because I reopened my studio, I want to make sure the air is really purified right now. It's going to make a huge difference because the virus that's going around right now is an airborne virus, and it germinates in the nasal passages. So orange, lemon, On Guard, it's constantly diffusing in my house. Purifies another one. Do you have the Family Essentials kit, Leslie? I can't remember. Or do you know what oils you have offhand? It's okay.
I don't. I know that I got the Digezen or something like that once for Ella's belly.
Yes, remember that. In her tea right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great one to add to water also.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely, I've been feeling that state of overwhelm myself lately. So I think a lot of these that you recommended are a good place to start. I think, yeah, I know I had the Digezen. I think I had the On Guard, but I have not been regular with it at all.
Yeah. If you put the On Guard in the diffuser, even if it was 5 drops, 5 to 10, you take care of the whole family just by turning that machine on. That's
Wow.
the nice thing about a diffuser. It hits everybody whether they like it or not.
Wow. And do you have one in every room or just like each level of your house?
Well,
or?
at this point where I am, it's more each level. I have enough to do each room, but really your kitchen is the main area, or the living room. And then if you have somebody that needs to sleep one, then probably their room. Like, I don't diffuse at night, but most people do. I used to diffuse Breathe because Dave used to snore and it fixed it. And for whatever
Wow.
reason, it didn't come back. Yeah, that was a big deal.
Breathe is huge for the snoring.
That was huge. So I was like kicking him every night and it got old. So it depends. But if there was something respiratory going on, I would be using it. Maggie has to have Serenity at bedtime too, like Dave. So I do diffuse in her room. But when I wake up in the morning, it's almost like a coffee machine. I'll just go a quick run through my day, like a routine, and Erin, Nikki, anyone can add. But I'll set the night before the diffusers with the full water and whatever I want in there. So whether it's On Guard or lemon or whatever the oils are, citrus bloom is my favorite right now. And they'll have the 15 drops. So all I have to do in the morning is press the button. I put the lemon in my lukewarm water down the hatch, first thing with my vitamins. And then I take the frankincense and put a drop under my tongue because that's the anti-disease one. Essentially, it's going to oxygenate the blood and protect us and our bodies to the max. Put the On Guard on the back of my neck, and that's it for a while. So because I've got everything I needed right then and there. Sometimes if you're a morning routine that gets their coffee, maybe you put your oils near your coffee. Or if you brush your teeth first thing in the morning, maybe you put them there. And at bedtime, if you need your bedtime oils, you put them on your bedside table. There's a really big importance in a routine and putting the oils in a place where you know they're not in a box in the cupboard.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
that's huge, don't you guys think?
Oh yeah. So many people will keep them in the cute box that they come in, and then they're overwhelmed and they don't use them. And then they're afraid because they forget how to use them, and then they're not sure if they'll use them the wrong way. So yeah, I think it's huge to know that you're not going to hurt yourself using the oils. You don't have to use a lot. And like Nikki said, it's consistency and just a little bit and see how it goes. And then like the routine, I do the exact same thing. The diffuser is ready. Lemon in my water before anything else. It's a routine now. I wake up and it's automatic. And then diffusers in kids' bedrooms at night with On Guard and lavender. And that's our routine. And I do Serenity and Vetiver in my diffuser. Breathe if we have a congested husband. But otherwise, yeah, that's the way to go, because if they're stored away, you will forget to use them. And we can't tell if anything's helping if we don't use it consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys have any allergies or not, but a drop of lemon, lavender, and peppermint in the water clears it up for almost everybody I've met. Seasonal allergies, that is. Really awesome. So I know a lot of kids are dealing with that right now, and then that's a threat to their immune system. So yeah.
So can I make a funny little comment here? That, so for example, when I take, like, what have I've also got fennel, right? So sometimes I go between Digest and fennel. So you know when you empty your drop out, right? So you count your one drop, right? Then there's always a residue left around the top. So I take the residue of the fennel, and then I just think, okay, which oil is this? Okay, am I going to put it here, here, here? If it's lavender, I might put it on the bridge of my nose. But this one's fennel, so I'm just going to rub it on my little tummy right there, and you know, have it go in that way. You know, so then I'm not wasting anything either. You know what I mean? Because there's always that little residue around the top.
I do that too.
I love that.
Funny. That's funny. I do that too. I thought I was like a little nutso, but it's not just me. Every drop counts, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll reach out to you, Leslie, and I'll get you the sleep and stress, like study stuff, and set you up. But you can feel free to, you know, order whatever you want in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm going to take stock of what I have. My son, actually, Gavin, he has horrible seasonal allergies. So just one drop of the one lemon, one lavender, one peppermint in his water.
Correct.
daily?
Daily, and you can do it multiple times a day. There is a capsule called Tries that has those in them. I just find that the delivery takes a little longer. It doesn't matter if you choose that way, you can go that way. I just personally prefer down the hatch.
Because they've been wanting to like get him. I
have kids off their meds and their shots. Like,
yeah, that's
families
it.
in our area that are like, how did this work? It's just lemon, lavender, and peppermint. I'm like, I don't know, but it works. I mean, I do know there's a science behind it, but
You have to do that all year long.
What's that?
You have to do it all year long, or just during the season?
I would say right before the allergy season hits and a little while after, so that you're getting ahead of it.
And you can do at our house. My daughter had a lot of seasonal allergies, so we did the shot glass of water with the lemon, lavender, peppermint, because it can be an intense taste, and that's a faster way to get into it.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
And then we put it in the diffuser. So we do diffuser, shot glass, diffuser, roller bottle for wrists and stuff to take to school, or they're not going to school anymore, but if they're going outside, and then she takes the Tries now too. So she gets it in every way, and she's not on any allergy meds anymore. I'm not on them anymore. My husband's not. So,
and the side effects of those meds, I mean, you end up being a zombie and you can't focus at school. There's a lot of bad.
I'm allergic to cats, and I have 3. I'm allergic to every tree outside and about 5 different types of grass. And I just got tested in February again. And I used to take Claritin all the time, or loratadine, and it really didn't have much effect. And I do my lemon water every day. I've always got lavender. Whenever I'm at my, I have like a little mirror on my dressing table, and I have lavender. I just do that, and I just do that as well. And also, what I do now in my mask, right on the very edge of the mask, I've got a roller. So I've got a little roly ball, and it has a bit of coconut oil just to help it, spread out a little bit more. But I've just got what have I got in there? Just lemon and peppermint, I think, at the moment. I don't have lavender, and I don't know why, but I just put it on there, and I'm like, oh yeah, that smells better than my breath.
Yeah,
good saying that, because if you put the peppermint or the brie or something along the lines of that, not only are you protecting the sinuses and the passageways, but it's so hard to breathe in those things. It's just refreshing, and it makes you feel not as stressed. Because I feel like when I'm teaching, I after a while I get a little nauseous. I don't know, it's because I'm breathing in the carbon dioxide, which you're not supposed to. Carbon dioxide, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, and I got to pull it down. But I've been putting that on, and it's been helpful.
Oh yeah.
So that's a good point. And actually, one of the things that the doTERRA had said to do, and actually some of the scientists within doTERRA, is taking the correct X, which is like Neosporin. It's like I think an $8 ointment, but it doesn't have the antibiotics in it, but it has frankincense in it. It has helichrysum, and it has some other oils, myrrh, and you put it in the nasal passage. And since it's kind of like, it's not petroleum, but it has that Vaseline type of texture, and it will protect the airways too. So also dry noses in the winter, or nosebleeds in the summer. So first of all, it will help with cuts and scrapes. So when your little one gets one, with the cleanup or the healing and the scarring, you want to clean it first and then put that on top. But so there's so many, like that little ointment, sometimes they'll use it as like a chapstick. Like, love these little like tips, like little go-tos for all kinds of things.
Totally.
Yeah. Chapstick. I hadn't thought of that.
And then bug bites right now, lavender. So right now,
Lavender.
bugs are out.
Yeah. Lavender is great for that. I know Olivia had a bug bite this morning, right?
Yeah, and then I was a doofus. I went out this afternoon in a shorts, my like tennis skirt, and one got trapped up the skirt. So he went to town, and they don't really like me. And so I put basil on, or basil to you guys, and I'm wearing a pair of jeans right now, and I am not itching.
Oh, basil works.
Okay, so I came in, I washed the soap and washed down, and put basil on.
Hey, that's a good one to try. And this is the thing, like, we always learn new things because the oils are like can be used in so many different ways. So basil, I'm always putting like peppermint and lavender, deep blue, but I hadn't tried basil.
Yeah, and there's a
That
bug
was my
spray
first
that you
time.
have as well. So the bug spray is a good one, but some people prefer to make their own. So there's just so many. I'm a little bit lazy in that regard. I just buy it; it's already made. So,
Easier that way, for sure.
yeah. So yeah. Anyone have any other questions?
I don't think so. This was awesome.
Good, yay, awesome. Well, it's good to see you on here. We have calls for Wellness Wednesdays at 8:30 on Wednesdays, and then Saturday mornings we've been doing 10 a.m. calls. And now we'll have the studies, which I'll send you the info for, so you'll get the dates for that. And you can pick and choose, or you can watch the recording because we post them to that Well-Oiled Facebook page.
Yeah, I figured it was meant to be because literally everyone went to bed and I sat down on the couch and I was about to turn on Netflix and I checked my email and it came up and it said, it's the just join Zoom at 8:30 and it was like 8:20. I was like,
Perfect.
And I was actually worried because our reminder went out late. I was like, this is a little late. But then I thought, well, maybe last minute people will just be like, okay, I'll just jump on. So yay. And when I saw Leslie, I was like, I only know one Leslie, but I don't think Leslie.
I know. You're like, Leslie, where did you get your invite from? I was like, I don't know. Let me check that. From you, you goof.
Awesome. It's so good to see your face.
Oh, ditto. Thanks so much. I appreciate you guys sharing your knowledge. This
Totally.
was
Sure. Nice to
Anytime.
meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you, Leslie.
We'll have to do a date to meet up for sure.
Leslie, are you from Vienna?
actually I went to George Mason, but I live in Annapolis, Maryland now.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Not far.
Not too far.
And she is married to an Irishman.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
my maiden name is Downey.
Oh, is that right? Yes. Brady. I'm a Brady.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I
hi for
get my attention who should be in bed right now.
me. Well, tell him hi for me, and I'll reach out to you, Leslie.
All right.
Good to see everybody.
Take care. Good night.
Have a good evening. Bye, guys.
Bye. Annabelle, before you go, have you got some breathe? Can I come and get some breathe from you? Because Katie's desperate.
Totally.
I can bring it with me on my way home and just drop it.
Oh, can you please? That would be great. Yeah, she's so desperate.
Do you need the roller or the regular?
She diffuses it.
Okay, so I have a small of the regular, so I'll give it to Erin now so I don't forget.
Yay.
Thank you.
Somebody has it.
What's that?
Somebody always has it.
I know. I was like, I know. I thought, well, Erin will have some. Like I have got a stash of so many different
I
things,
usually have so much of it.
but I don't have breathe for some reason. Like some things I keep running out of, and I keep thinking, why don't I have that? Why didn't I totally forgot to order it.
Well, the things that we use so much,
Yeah.
it's amazing how quickly, like you're using it every night. And then it's in the study too. So,
Yeah.
putting
So
it-
how come you guys are together, hey? What's going on?
we just needed to, I hadn't seen her in a long time. And I was sitting at home and she was like, do you want to just come over and do it with me over here? And I was like, I need to get the heck out of my house. So yes, save me, someone, get me out of here.
Oh my goodness.
So that's how that happened.
That's how that happened.
A little break from.
I'm gonna give you the one from my kit, but I can always just reorder.
Okay.
So I
What,
think
can I give you an exchange, or should I get you
no,
something?
no, don't worry about it. It's not even like halfway full, so
Okay.
no worries at all. We
Yeah.
all
Community
help
first.
each other with this kind of stuff. When
Okay. And thanks for the sort out with Bernadette, by the way.
oh sure, sorry, I didn't.
Clueless when you said that, Erin. I was like, which course, which what? I just couldn't think of it. And then when you said
Important
kids,
that
I
you
thought, no, I
get
don't.
what you deserve,
Yeah.
truly, and
And
I
that-
don't want to forget something.
That
Yeah.
was a
I think
labor
I would-
that enrollment.
That was a labor.
So,
It was a labor of love.
but I
that
think
really
you're
was.
gonna really enjoy the kit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, go great.
I've been using it a lot lately.
Have you smelled those before?
No, I think only with
my
you when you did that Pilates class in that amazing house on Lawyers. Do you remember? Didn't you have some of that?
Oh yes.
Years ago?
Oh yeah. What did I
Yeah.
have? forgive.
It's still recording, by the way.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to edit that?
Yeah, you know what? Marley is really great. She'll just